What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trap the Hook. I'm Mikey Slavall, and today we are back at it one-handed. It is my first regional back, my first PBA event back since the US Open to bowl one-handed, and I'm really looking forward to this. I've kind of missed it. A little curious of how the 8 games are going to hold up, right? The hand still hasn't had the reps in yet to kind of build up those calluses and that stamina. We're close, but hopefully it can hold together for the full 8 games. The arm might be a little tired tomorrow, but that's okay. I kind of expected that. However, the pain is gone, which is great, and the fit feels good. Today we are on 43-foot Earl Anthony, I think. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I think it is. I know it's 43 feet. Here in Minster at Community Lanes. I almost forgot what the name. You can actually see it right there. That's Community Lanes. And we got here pretty early. We went and got some really good dinner at this Mexican restaurant, which was Fuego. And now we're here watching the end of B Squad, kind of get an idea of how the center plays, which I think it's just going to honestly be just squad dependent, because the first squad that bowled A Squad, they only had 3 guys that were plus. Everybody else was minus. And this squad, they have right now, I think, 14 guys who are plus. So I think it has a lot to do with squad consistency, guys playing the same part of the lane, breaking them down properly, making them easier. So I got a good squad. We got some heavy hitters on our squad as well, so hopefully we can do the right things on the lane to make them playable and to give ourselves the best chance of making it to tomorrow. Tomorrow they take the top third, which is 24. They take 24 to tomorrow. So we're really shooting for that number, and I'm really, really excited to get in there and get after it. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go in, watch some B Squad. I'll probably take some videos, check out where I'm starting, who I'm crossing with, and get ready for a fun evening of bowling. Well, B Squad is about finished up, and they are outscoring A Squad by quite a bit. I think it just has to do with rev rate maybe in the squad. It seems like the rev rate's a little bit higher here. They definitely are tighter than, well, they're just as tight as I remember the last couple years I've come. However, it looks like this squad has opened up a little bit just due to a little bit higher rev rates. We do have some heavy handers on the squad, so it seems like mills are kind of blowing open a little bit, allowing guys to get a little bit further left, create a little bit more angle into the pocket. So that's kind of what we're going to look to do in the next squad. I don't know if my squad's quite as stacked when it comes to rev rate. I actually think we're more like A Squad. So this may be one of those where we're going to have to just get the ball to go through the pins and kind of just take 9 as they come and try not to look for anything too outrageous, which is okay. Like, if that's the game plan, then that's the game plan, and I'm down for it. When it comes to tonight, I think my goal today is just to try to be comfortable, right? I haven't bowled one-handed in a tournament in a long, long time, and I'm still looking to get my sharpness back mentally. And so today we're going to go in and just stick to the process of one shot at a time and try to give myself the best opportunity to be competitive in this tournament and hopefully have some fun. I would love to go out and enjoy bowling again, and doing it pain-free. It's always the best. So what we're going to do now is start getting things around to go and load in. We'll see how B Squad finishes up score-wise, and we'll get a good idea of what we'll need heading into tonight to make it to the top 24 for tomorrow. So let's get in there, let's get after it, and let's have some fun. Also, it is 90 degrees outside, so the big key today is trying to stay cool, because already in there, even with the AC units running hot and heavy, it was still very hot and balmy. So staying cool and hopefully the approaches aren't too bad is going to be a huge key for success today. You agree? She likes the heat. She doesn't like the cold, so this doesn't really bother her. it's gonna probably bother me. Anyways, let's go bowl.
You can't tell the thing to do.
well, that was fun. And before we get too in-depth here, I'm actually going to talk to you guys later, probably either tomorrow morning or really late tonight when we get home, because we're going to drive back home. It's currently 11 o'clock, and we got a storm that we're going to have to drive through. So I'd like to get on the road and get through that first. But we'll talk about all the things that happened today. I'm actually leaving with quite a bit of optimism and pretty happy with what went on today. So we'll talk about that later. We're going to get home. See you in a little bit. And welcome back, guys. It is not Sunday. It is the next week, but that is okay. Things kind of got out of control on Sunday, and schedule just kind of blew up, but that's okay. That is what it is. But we're here now to kind of talk through the day on Saturday. And it's actually been kind of good to have some time away from it and what actually happened, because I had some time to kind of digest it and kind of go through what I really feel about it, some of the things I'd like to sharpen up on, and also talk to you guys about some of the adjustments I just made yesterday, because after this event I realized there was some small things that still needed to get tweaked, and we took care of that. So let's get into the day. So to start, I'm just going to say this. It went exactly as I expected. Not as I hoped. I hoped to have, this breakout day where everything just clicked and I struck like crazy. That wasn't going to happen, especially not there. They were tight, they were hard, and I just struggled. The first 4 games was basically me just knocking off the rust. My swing was so free, it was hard to control. So when I bowled before, I just kind of felt like edgy and rigid, and I kind of had to jam it into the spot, which worked because I had to do it for so long with that fit. But now that I have a fit in my hand, or fit in the bowling ball that allows my hand to be much freer at the bottom, I found myself just throwing it everywhere because I could. Like, the ball would just shoot off my hand. And the first 4 games is really trying to figure out how to get my swing back in check, because when you bowl at our local centers here, even if you bowl on something hard, because they all have so much friction, I can get the ball to hook anywhere, honestly. And so that really hasn't done me any favors in learning how to get my angles a little bit more in front of me, keeping the ball a little bit more forward roll, and it's kind of like one of those, you become a product of your environment. And so for the first 4 games, I really struggled to get my eyes and my swing to do the right thing. And after it was really in the middle of game 4, I found out that my push away really doesn't need to to engage a loop in my swing. Actually, my push away needs to be a little bit more direct into the right hip, because, now that my hand flies out of the ball, I don't necessarily need to create a big figure 8, because with my hand coming out of the ball so fast, the ball naturally shoots to the right now. And that's kind of what I was struggling with the first 4 games, is that I would just take the ball, and I felt like I had no shot of keeping it left. It was just going right off my hand the whole time. I actually threw 2 gutter balls because of just how quick it would shoot off my hand. And so in game 4, about middle of game 4, I started to really focus on the push away being a little bit more underneath me instead of around me. And slowly things started to come back, and the feels really started to build, because all of a sudden I could see my launch angles stay really consistent. I could start to see my ball track down the lane more consistently, as in like where my eyes are looking and where my shoulders are pointing. The ball is falling in line with both of those, and I was really able to start honing in on making shots. So even though we struggled really bad for the first 4, we went 172, 193, 169, and 160. I kind of figured it was going to be like that just because been out of it for so long. And then the last 4 games, we bowled pretty decent. We went 185, 245, 202, and 196. And I'll be honest with you guys, those last 3 could have been enormous. I just missed a lot of makeable spares. I kind of boogered up on my new spare ball. Everything that I drill when I do the span is always cut to cut. So it's the cut of the Jopo bit to the cut of the 31/32 finger hole bit. And I don't do anything like from the grip to the thumb or anything like that. I just think cut to cut is much simpler for me to do that math. However, on my spare ball, I don't use a Jopo switch grip. I just put a slug in it and put just a hole in the ball, because I don't want to change the Jopo thumb slug all the time for my spares. I just want to be able to pick up my spare ball and throw it. Well, I kind of boogered up, and I drilled about an 1/8 inch long, and at the end of the day, it was getting hard to hang on to that ball because my hand was just getting tired. And I missed the last 4 games. I missed 8 makeable spares just in the last 4 games. I missed 13 missed makeables the whole day, and I missed the number by 70. So you guys do the math. Yeah, if I make my spares, I make the cut for Sunday, and that's even not throwing it very good, which just tells me we made the right decision by going back and switching to one hand, because after we got dialed in, we really started to make some good shots. Like I won't say the old Mikey came back, because I haven't quite tasted that locked in mental state yet of what I did last year in Lorraine, but I definitely felt like the ability to get locked in was starting to come back to me as we got later in the block. And if I'm just able to pick up my spares and maybe get 1 or 2 breaks in the last couple games, I think I truly make that number. Going into Game 7 and Game 8, I thought for sure if I could just catch 2 decent pairs, we were going to make the number. However, didn't turn out like that. It is what it is. That's how bowling goes. But I think it was actually kind of good for me to have that day off, although obviously we want to make the number and we want to make money. It was good for me because I was able to have an extra day to go back, kind of think through all the stuff that I wanted to do to my bowling balls. I say all the stuff. I wanted to do one thing. After we got done, I realized that I still didn't quite free up enough space in this part of my middle finger, and I was able to then take a day yesterday to go down to my buddy Brian Nicodemus, and I put another 16th away in that middle finger, and I will tell you guys right now, I think I am ready to rock and roll now. I think that was the last missing piece. Obviously, before we made big adjustments and it cost me, this time I was kind of like slowly progressing my way when it came to this adjustment after we found the right length and span. Now we're just trying to get that pitch right in that middle finger, and I think we got it now. And if we don't got it, it's at least going to feel better than what it did this past weekend, and I don't mind making small increment adjustments now knowing that we've got the right span. And how do I know we have the right span? Because my thumb has never felt so good in my life. This is the first tournament I've bowled that's been 8 games or more where my thumb has not been sore or has not built up a good-sized callus after the day of bowling. And that was really rare for me because the next day when I went and bowled, I actually had to put tape in the ball. Usually I have to pull tape out because the thumb swells up. Not after this event. I actually had to put tape back in the ball, which is... I don't know when I've done that. I think that may have been the first time ever in my bowling career I've done that. So that was super awesome. Altogether, now that I'm just sitting here ranting, altogether it was a day that we expected. I'm very pleased with where the fit is at because that gives me confidence that I'm not going to be in pain. And it also gave me a lot of confidence to realize, like, hey, we can work on really getting the swing long now because we don't have to figure eight it. We can really work on just getting the swing long, getting this hand underneath the ball, and really work on rolling it again and really starting to control these tougher patterns. So coming up in this weekend, we have Coldwater, Ohio, which is going to be hard. It's on short. And it's going to be a great opportunity for me to really work on staying long with the swing, staying behind the ball and rolling it, and allowing my hand just to come out of it as fast as it is right now, and just take advantage of the length and the leverage and the pain-free bowling that I can now provide. So I am super happy. I won't lie to you guys. I was a little stressed out going into Minster. I've been juggling a lot. My wife and I are about to move in to a new house, and a new journey in life is about to take over. And so my life has kind of been just insane, and work's been going great, and I have a lot of responsibility there too. And so it's like trying to balance all these things now in life and trying to still see family and friends and still practice and lift. Life's just crazy, but I am blessed, and the Lord has been really good to Elizabeth and I. We've had some opportunities pop up that we didn't think we'd ever get, and we are just so grateful of what we've been able to do and where we've been able to go. And I'm hoping now this next month or so, as we settle into our new place and life kind of starts to get into a different routine and hopefully a better routine, that I'm able to take all the things that I've built off of now this past month with the one-handed and kind of hunker in for the rest of the year and get myself into that RPI. So guys, I can't thank you guys enough for watching. I know I rant a lot, but I just like to brain barf, and hopefully you guys can pick up something. If you guys have any questions, please drop it down in the comments. I love to see your guys' comments, and remember just to keep everything straight off the hook and enjoy the game of bowling because it is truly fun. Also, support the sponsors, Motive Bowling, Jopo Grips, Zello Gear, and Genesis, because they're awesome, and so are you guys. All right, I'll see you in Coldwater.